Comet dragons. Not too long after that, the island was discovered by a naked married couple, whose names were Minaka Hiroto and Takami Sahashi. My teacher once told me of the importance of discovering this island, Minaka told Takami. Flashback. It will be important, Minaka's teacher stated. Flashback end. To Takami's surprise, there was no Flakanaka hilafilification to her husband's claim. For once, Minaka wasn't spouting complete garbage, as this island would indeed be the key to his future success. Oh, and yes, Flakanaka hilafilification is an actual word. Don't believe me? Then look it up or something. The first time they had sex, Minaka's dick flung sperm at his wife at the end of their love-making session 10 years and 3.5 dead clowns later. And this is a run-on sentence. Because they didn't want a kid at that time, Minaka scrubbed Takami's vagina with their dog. Following that, over 100 Mexican hobo brothers in a tiny clown car suddenly exploded. Snot flowed out of the only surviving brother's Jew nose, and he sobbed uncontrollably because his guitar was destroyed in the explosion. Forget his brothers. He just misses his guitar. Get your very own bazooka for absolutely free. Just pay me all your cash. You can keep the onions, though. Otherwise, a horrifically confused amoeba will crack your face open. Your mom will then make a fat arse some soup from your brains, and he'll jizz before drinking all of the sphincter's zits from your life. I guarantee it. Figuratively. Carcat was then beaten and tortured by a random guy who had broken into her home. The man then dismembered her and she died from blood loss. He then took her cat and cut off one of its murder legs. Just as he was about to cut off its second leg, a neighbor walked in on the scene. After a few moments of tense silence, the neighbor asked, "Hey dude, can I join in on the fun?" "Hell yeah," the random intruder guy said. They then skinned the cat alive. Next, they each stuck their index fingers up its arse and shoved them into its nostrils. Following this, they rammed their dicks through its nostrils and into its brain before jizzing. Now that the two men's dicks were covered in brain matter, blood, shit, and jizz, they poured beer on their own dicks as the coup de grace. As a result, their dicks started to burn. Suddenly, the neighbor got tired and sat on the random male intruder's face for relief. The random guy then said that he couldn't breathe, so the neighbor gave him air by farting into his nose. Then a perverted female Pegarthcorn pony, Princess Lunati, appeared before them. The random guy, whose face was being used as a pillow at the moment, rammed his dick into the female alicorn's arse. In response, she sang, "You got a friend in me," from the movie Toy Story. Next, Lunati shoved her horn into the mouth of Carcat's mutilated corpse. Finally, the neighbor grabbed the tail of the cat's skinless carcass. He also started fucking the roach-infested skeleton of his deceased great-granny, which reeked and was covered in fungi. How he pulled the skeleton out of thin air is anyone's guess, as is the skull kid that popped out from the skeleton's snatch. Now that they were all physically connected, the six of them suddenly started to glow before a blinding light filled the entire house. When the light dissipated, the six had combined to form the ultimate sex machine. Then a breeze gave it AIDS, and they all died a few seconds later. The skull kid then smoked weed, which made his boner grow 100 times its normal size. The skull kid then died from weed poisoning, because weed kills human skeleton hybrids in this story. In Equestria, Twilight Sparkle tried to pounce a newborn foal when none of the ponies were looking in her direction. Unfortunately for her, God suddenly told all of them to look at Twilight right when she hit the baby. She was then thrown into jail, where she was raped by her creepy male human cellmate. The man's name is Taizo Hasegawa, but everyone just calls him Madao, short for middle-aged dumbass oldie, or bum. Once done, Twilight Sparkle's cellmate then slammed a table onto her head. Both her skull and the table shattered. Poor table. What did the table ever do to the walrus? As Twilight Spanker was dying, she said, "I love you, Mateo. If you truly love me, then eat me." In response, he shed not one, but 1.5 manly tears before saying, "Fuck you, swat." Ah, and to the readers who are wondering whether the letters W and L are close to each other on the keyboard, well, they're not. Lols. Mateo then laughed at the mare before breaking her spine and stabbing himself to death with it. However, he resurrected himself before breaking out of jail and killing off the rest of the main six, along with Princess Celestia. Then they all flew to Hawaii. Aw, he's a door. Wait a minute. If those ponies are dead, then how did they all fly to Hawaii? Also, don't you mean to say that he's adorable instead of a door? And Twilight Spanker, really? Goku asked me. Simple, Goku. The Mateo, who somehow acquired the ability to bring himself back to life and fly, tied them all to his ankles with some rope he made out of intestines before rocketing through the sky. Well, sort of. You see, they were really heavy, so he was only able to fly a few feet off the ground. This meant that their faces were constantly being mashed into the ground. Also, no, he is now a male door. And yes, really, P-face. "You're demented, Arthur. I should slap some sense into you," Goku bellowed angrily. "You can't unrape the horses." He smirked before asking, saying, "I'm all-powerful, remember? I can do whatever I want." True, but that only applies in this story. You mad, Goku? Lol. Ack! Ha! How's that for not being all-powerful outside of the story? He remarked after punching me through the wall of my house. When he received no response, he pulled me out of the wall before noticing that I was no longer conscious. Therefore, he healed me. "Well," he asked, "remind me to never piss you off again." Which is a lie, lols. Goku sighed in exasperation before frowning in confusion. Also, how did they get to Hawaii if they were in Equestria? He asked me. Because, buck logic. Meh, fair enough, he said before flying to the Kamakura Island rest stop to get some Z's. After purchasing Z's from the store at the rest stop, Goku went back to the world of the Kais and got some sleep. He dreamed about a gorilla in a Sailor Moon outfit beating Big Bird from the show Sesame Street to death in a WWF death match. When Big Bird died, the gorilla's cock started spinning uncontrollably in counterclockwise circles while the song "You Spin Me Right Round" played in the background. After a few seconds, the dick was spinning so fast that it propelled the gorilla through the roof and into the sky, though not before showering everyone in the entire stadium with cum. Unfortunately for them, the speed at which the gorilla's dick was spinning caused the jizz to shoot out with enough speed to blow a person into bloody pieces. Needless to say, everyone died. The helidick then continued to fly the gorilla that it was attached to higher until it left the world's atmosphere and exploded. The gorilla died via freezing and suffocation at the same time, but not before one last turd exited its arse. That turd then flew into the sun, causing it to expand and vaporize planet Earth, along with everyone on it. The sun then blushed in embarrassment before it apologized. "Excuse me." Then Goku woke up. Back in Equestria, Luna tried to hit the baby next, only for it to fire a massive laser beam out of its mouth and disintegrate the Cornupega Earthia on the spot. The master chef, who had already taken the Lunar Pony Princess's virginity from her many times in the past, then baked Luna's non-existent ashes until they became weed. Now that his wife was dead, Virginity willingly gave himself to the master chef, only to be burnt into ash and baked into weed as well. He then smoked it and went on a killing spree, thus becoming the garden hose of doom. At the same time, in another dimension, Master Chief Petty Officer John 117 sneezed and destroyed a tiny organism's microscopic orgasm. This caused a ridiculously large black hole to appear. The black hole then became a planet of dongs. Everyone cheered before hailing Master Chief, Petty Officer John 117, as the hero of Cox. A chicken then laid an egg and killed them all. A moment later, the egg hatched to reveal a troll face. They see me trolling, they hating, they gonna try to catch me riding. Ah! My face died. Until the narrator finds his face, read this song from William Shakespeare. To be, or though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, liberty and justice for circumcision is the question mark. Times I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was squared to the power of things I shouldn't do, such as my doctor and the walrus. Swiggity swooty, I am coming for the booty. For quality carpets, visit Kaplan's Carpet Warehouse. There's a place in France where naked ladies dance, a hole in the wall, the men can see it all. It was a 10-foot genie with a 10-foot bangas. Neckbeards are unholy, fat arse abominations. Glad, she thought sardinically. My mad cucumber penetrated girl 6.7's fish cavity. Do you find your prison cell stimulating? Students perversing oral history. I've traveled to a space station that looks like a one-legged duck with tentacles bursting out of its asshole. Douchebag's dick times 100, 13, 23, 1, 123, 13, 23, 1, 23, 1, 1, trumpet B flat, chromatic scale fingerings. When you're dead, I won't care, because I'll still be alive. I shouldn't be singing when there are experiments to be done on the people who are still alive. I wipe my arse on the carpet to mark my territory. A cat being tortured by an alien that looks a lot like Rob Schneider mixed with Bill Murray. Mr. Hanky, the Christmas Pooh from South Park, forced himself down Steve Jobs' throat. Answer, fancy, blue, question, bat, bird, meatball, afternoon, Saturday, saturate, effing, family, jewels, poop, mayonnaise, brain, literature, flies, goo, filling, loon, dick, submarine, 49ers, definitely, escape, priceless, gibberish, Japanese, massive, condoms, nom 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 nom. Smoke weed every day. Chinese ambassador Ching Chang Hyang Ping Pong brutally murdered Rosie O'Donnell. Washo Chimichibichian, washu washu, or whatever in Japanese. Old Man Dick Butt and Mr. Hands endorse ISIS. A guy killed 58 people and wounded over 500 in Las Vegas before killing himself, and his motive was to just piss people off and obtain the ultimate title of the legendary Super Troll. Pornhub, Angry Birds, Google Maps, take a shot, take a cum shot. I then started spraying diarrhea out of my ass, so I rolled over to one side before rolling back to the other side to become a human shit sprinkler. Then I saw a female cyclops, so I punched its face until it fell into a coma. This meant that God, praise be, had just gifted me with the glorious opportunity to explore every part of the Cyclops' disabled body. Naturally, I stared blankly at the now mentally and physically disabled Cyclops before laughing and butt-fucking it. I then tied it to a tiny fan and watched it spin in circles before it died. So I ate the Cyclops for dinner, with the exception of its eye, which I made into a condom for my massive dong. Hello, I'm Justin Bieber, and I like kissing dinosaur testicles, the Twilight series, and using my dick to brutally rape and beat small children to death with. Oh shit, ow! Fortunately, the author just murdered me. Okay, I, the author, am back. Anyways, upon discovering Kamikura Island, Minaka and Takami ate a bangas! Lols, just kidding. Upon discovering the place, they found 107 extraterrestrial eggs and one extraterrestrial adult female. The Sekirei egg used testicle fluid. Minaka's scrotum was turned upside down. They lathered the eggs in butter, salt, and pepper. Then the development of the Sekirei plant began to crack an ass marshmallow with tutti sprinkles. I don't understand what they're doing with my cheese, Goku said and pointed to two tutus. No. He pointed to a bunch of guys humping his pack of cheese. Then one of them turned around before farting into his eyes and saying, "I'm a cheese knife." Elsewhere, a pregnant woman put her hand on her belly and felt an idiot. Within her belly resided a baby with 4 giant buck teeth that made it look like a retarded cartoon character. "Durr!" it shouted idiotically inside of her womb. So the pregnant woman punched it because she was bored before calling upon Satan, which turned out to be Donald Duck. "Quack," she said, speaking the language of the space ducks. Upon hearing her, Donald Duck threw gonads at her and ate her baby, along with her stomach. She died, so he ate her too before disappearing into a cloud of smog in the form of fapping Ku Klux Klan members. "Stop right there, criminal scum. You've betrayed the law." It, comma, period, exclamation mark, question mark, asterisks, colon, semicolon, happy face, almost Tim's time me percentage to forego now. I'm hungry. Lols. Sad Goku. Wah! He cry like big baby is he? No. Stormentanger Slavanov. I want God reviews. Suddenly, God and the yes-no button appeared. God selected yes. No. God replied to me while sighing in exasperation. So I said okay with an idiotic-looking smile on my face. Everyone, the story that I hazmat, the drove and followed building in a car before following building in a car. I went to see a tree and saw a tree, but I never saw a tree. I cut a tree. Yee. Goku's beaver bigger are than Justin Bieber's beaver jacking off. He laughs like a monkey and talks like a duck. He waddles around like he got fucked in the butt. Tree humper. After a few moments of silence, Goku asked, "So, spaghetti and grasshoppers?" "That's correct, Goku." "Yay!" Goku happily shouted before throwing a car on top of a child and crushing it.